Hello, 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 and thank you, Aquarius, for joining me for your reading for this week, June 9th through next Tuesday, June 9th through next Tuesday. I'm excited about your reading. Everyone has had a great reading, and I'm sure that your reading is going to be equally as wonderful, Aquarius. This is for my Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If I have any cross watchers, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Glad to have you. All right, let's get started, Aquarius, on your reading. We know that we have some planets in retrograde. We have Venus in retrograde, Jupiter in retrograde, and also Saturn is in retrograde right now. And so there's a lot of thinking about your love, whether it's love for yourself, love for family, romantic love. It's also about restructuring your money, like, do I want to invest in this? Like restructuring your idea about money and your relationship with money. We're also thinking about reviewing your visions, your ideals, and your belief systems in life. You're also reviewing just all relationships, actually. Like I said, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with family, your romantic relationship. So a lot of things are going on right now. But another thing that is happening right now is that Uranus is in Taurus right now. And even though Taurus is most affected by Uranus being in Taurus, what's interesting is that Uranus is attached to the Aquarius, okay? And so Uranus in Taurus, you're thinking about inner freedom, right? And we know that Aquariuses are very free spirits. So let's see how the cards are going to play out, as it relates to that. Yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. All right. So you have some major arcanas here, Aquarius. But let's get started. Okay. Princess of Swords. You know your power, Aquarius. All right. So some of the things that we know about Aquarius is that they're open-minded, they're humanitarians, they're very creative, they're very free-spirited, and they're very intellectual. Okay. Very, very smart. Okay. So you know your power. You have your sword in your hand and you know how to use it and when to use it. See? Princess of Swords. Look at this, Aquarius. You're a star. You are a star shining bright for all the world to see. Okay? Right now, you're in a very reflective mode. Judgment card is a Scorpio card. You're in a very reflecting state. You're thinking about, your next steps. And look, this is why you're thinking about your next steps. You have some things on you that just don't serve any greater purpose in your life. You have a lot of responsibilities, you have a lot of obligations, but some of those things you want to offload some of that, right? You are a star and you know that you're a star. That reflection, that time that you're taking to reflect on some things, you have to know that there's no barriers in your way. You have the entire universe on your side, Aquarius. The entire universe, the sun and the moon on your side. And so with that, you're just kind of sort of thinking, what am I going to offload in my life? Like, really, what am I going to offload? And so in thinking about your relationships with family and your self-love, this is what the universe is giving me for you. That you have already offloaded some toxic relationships in your life as it relates to family. You have already been thinking about offloading some toxic relationships in the workplace if you work, unless you work for yourself. But there are people around you that know that you're a star. So you shine in very dark places, like you shine brighter in dark places, and people around you know it. And so they add this extra burden onto it. Matter of fact, you've been a star since you were born. There were things about you, even in your own family. It could be like your physical features. It could be the gifts that you have. It could be a lot of things that you have, a lot of gifts that you have that people saw in you, and they add the extra burden of just, they added the extra burden of doubt and questioning yourself, like especially as a child. This is what I'm getting. As a child, you just, people just kind of wanted to just dim your light. So you had a lot of toxic people around you. So I wouldn't be surprised, Aquarius, if you actually cut family members off, to start with. And so while that may have been painful, there's some more things that you need to cut off, because you are a star. So you're thinking about a lot right now. Like, you're thinking about a lot. You're actually coming up from this bent over posture of having to carry so much burden on you. And look at this Knight of Wands. Okay? Look at this Knight of Wands. This person is ambitious. This is you taking action. So it's a beautiful thing when you start putting down some of those burdens that just don't serve a higher purpose for you. At first, when you first start putting down some of those burdens, let me put this back up. At first, when you start putting down some of those burdens, it's kind of hard to know, like, if you put down the right burden or the wrong burden. But because you've been on this journey to self-love and healing, and you have been doing all the work, like, you have been transforming, you have you have your amethyst. This is one of the stones. One of the stones for Aquarius. I believe it's for Pisces too, but I think it's also for Aquarius. But you have been putting in the work, and you have been healing, and you have been released from any addictions that you had, whether it's addictions. And addiction can also mean, I want to make this crystal clear too, addiction can also mean you're addicted to your family loving you. You're addicted to people loving you, right? But when you get to a point where you know that you're a star, you can put down some of those burdens, because you're going to be a star regardless. Whether you have the family support or not, you're a star regardless. Look at this, the energy from the sun in the background. Amazing, just amazing. And look, when you're a bit ambitious, and look, you have this infinite wisdom and knowledge. This is a Gemini card. This is your journey to intellect and power. So this represents your toolbox. You're already an ambitious person. You're very spiritual. You're taking action right now as we speak. And also, anything that you think you lack, that you think you don't have in your toolbox, when you go to reach for it, Aquarius, it's going to be right there. And you are going to be amazed, because you know why? You're drawing from all of the experiences that you had in your life. And this is what this reflection is about. You're thinking about all the things you've gone through in your life to get you to a point of the intellect that you have right now and the power that you have. Let's pull some more cards and see what this says for the Aquarius. Universe, what do we have for the Aquarius? What more do we have for the Aquarius? See. Let's see. What do we have for the Aquarius? What do we have for the Aquarius? Okay. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what else we have for. Okay. Whoa. All right. Okay, yeah, this is about your family, Aquarius. This is about your family. Okay. This is about your family. Okay, let's look at this. This is the Two of Wands, okay? This is about prospects, advancement, exploration, and stuff like that, right? You're a star, right? But you're going up, 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 and up. You had this point of where you were reflecting about some things, because there were some unnecessary burdens in your life that had you bent over like this, Aquarius, right? what I'm also seeing is, and I'll tell you in a second why I say family. Okay, the Five of Wands. This is competition, diversity, rivalry. Okay, so in your family, what I'm getting for you, Aquarius, is that instead of people nurturing your gifts because they knew there was something special about you, they turned it into something that was emotionally and mentally draining for you. Like they compared you constantly with other people. Let's say, for instance, um, you were a great dancer, and instead of them embracing you and other people in your family that can dance, they always kind of sort of pitch you guys against each other, which made it, one, it wasn't fun anymore, and then two, you started to, and if that person did a little bit more extra than you did, they made it seem like you were a failure. That's what I'm getting. This is what the universe is giving for me, Aquarius. But you don't have to worry about that. You really, really, really don't have to worry about that, because you have used everything in your the things that you have in your toolbox. Um, is this is rapid action. This is why. This is why, and this is what I'm getting from the universe, Aquarius. This is why you had to cut your own some family members off. And I mean like some core family members off, because it's time for you to take rapid action and your dreams to go straight up, because you have all of these gifts inside of you, and that your family members did not cultivate, did not sharpen or shape when you were younger. And so you've had to cut them off after a long, hard, arduous path of all these burdens being on your back. And this is what you were thinking about. You were thinking about, wow, listen, when this thing happens for me, I would love for my family to go along with me, but they can't because they were not my safe space. Wow, I don't know why this is so strong. This is so strong. If this does not resonate with you, Aquarius, that's okay, because it could resonate with other people who have Aquarius in their chart. But again, this is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Look, this Temperance card right here, your life is in full balance, Aquarius. You need to know, if you don't already know, and I really think that you do know, Aquarius, that you've cut off the right people in your life because they were just a major distraction for you. Your life is in full balance. See, the thing about cutting people out of your life is you're making room for the right energies to come into your life. And believe it or not, some people come from very toxic families. I mean, maybe the matriarch or patriarch of the family did, their dreams weren't realized for whatever reason, and so they are just like a cancer moving throughout the family, just tearing down everybody else's hopes and dreams. But because you were strong enough, Aquarius, to cut that out of your life, you made an executive decision. Your life is very, very well balanced, right? You're getting some good sleep. You don't have to worry about some unnecessary phone calls or text messages or anything. And it was because you looked at your life half full instead of half empty. You went through that period where you were thinking about it, and you could have gone this way. It was like a thin line for you. You could have looked at the glass half empty, and you could have vibrated low. But instead, you decided to just some introspection and think about a lot of things and see the glass is half full. You said, you know what? I know what I need to do. I need to cut some people out of my life. And that's the key right there. That's the key for me being where I need to be. And see, Saturn went into retrograde on May the 11th. And Saturn is going to be in retrograde for until September 29th. So you keeping your vibrations very high, Aquarius, is going to continue, your star is going to continue shining brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. And they won't have access to you, to hurting you anymore. The reason why I know this is because, and the reason why I say family is because you have 3 swords right through your heart. I don't see anything about an ex in here, because you've gotten to a point where you have cut out everything and everybody in your life that tried to kill you, drive those swords through your heart. And so the last phase of that cutting out was cutting out family members. You didn't cut everybody out, but you cut out certain family members that probably thought, well, where did she go? Even he or she, or masculine or feminine energy, where did they go? Okay. Even the people that thought that they could kind of sort of spy on your social media pages and, report back to the core group, they no longer even have access. Like, you have cut off anything. You have closed the door, no more access to hurting you, because you are a star. You just had to get into believing it yourself. And now that you know the power that you have, now that you have had an opportunity to sit with yourself and see exactly who caused those burdens, and you know that you have everything in your tool belt to when you need it, and you're ambitious, you're on fire. There's nothing they can do to touch you at this point. Even if you were to see certain now, they're like your ex already knows that you've moved on. They haven't been in contact with you, Aquarius, in so long that it's just like, and I'm talking about the ex that was stalking you, okay? You could have an ex in your life right now that's a fresh new ex, or somebody that you guys are in contact with, and you may have had a pretty amicable, separation or breakup. But you're even thinking about that relationship, like, is this relationship going to serve any purpose, in the long run? Okay, look, what do you need to release? This is what this card is saying. What do you need to release? What do you need to release? Let's put this up here for a second. Those are some questions that you're asking yourself right now, Aquarius. Like, what do you need to release? What you needed to release, because the waning moon indicates that it's okay to move on, to let go and move on. You've done it. This is the beautiful thing about it, Aquarius. You've done it. You've had to ask yourself that question many times. Who and what do I need to just release so that I can move on and sprint, like fly high? You have removed the source of your pain, which were certain family members were the source of your pain. Even if you experience church hurt, or you experience hurt out here in the world, most people know they can go back to their families and recoup and recover, right? But your pain came from family members who hurt you. And so because it came from family members that hurt you, it took a minute to recover. But when you recovered and you remember who you were, the star, there was nothing they could do, because the power in your sword. If you can cut off, and this is you, Aquarius, you said, if I can cut off my own family members because they were the source of my pain, and I had to go into that, I had to transform, and I had to go into protecting myself because I was addicted to my own family, which caused me to lose sleep and all kinds of stuff. And I learned how to really heal and love myself and define what love meant. Oh, look, this moon is saying, what do you need to release? Is there anything else you need to release? If there's anything else that you need to release, when you can cut certain family members off, you can cut anybody off, right? You can cut off a toxic job. You can cut off a toxic anything, because it's about self-love, and you've been doing the work, Aquarius. And so you have to ask yourself, what is it do I need to believe? And for some people, it's a scary thing, because again, when you've built these relationships with people, and you almost want to take them with you. Like, you know that you're a star. You know that you're going somewhere. You actually want to take these people with you. But some people just don't. Time will show you exactly what else you need to release. Time will show you exactly what else you need to release, Aquarius. Because like I said, you have released, you have taken such a burden off of your back. Again, it could be a job, and as a matter of fact, what I'm getting from you is that in this time of reflection, when you're thinking about what else do I need to release, from my life so that I can just go for it. If you need to release some emotional baggage, release that, but that's not what I think that it is. But I think that whatever you do, whatever decisions that you make, Aquarius, you need to move forward with as little resistance as possible, because you are a star. You have all the tools that you need to be successful. All of them. All of them to be successful. That's what I see for you. That's what I see. And I see that you're on your journey to spirituality and taking action. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius. This is a pretty exciting reading, because you've been through some things. You've been through some things with family, seeing your star, the star in you, and seeing that you are a star. And you're seeing the glass is half full, but you remember exactly who did what to you. And it's an amazing thing when you know exactly who drove those swords through your heart, and who hurt you. And you just kind of look back and you say, you know what, it happened, but I'm on another journey. I'm healed. I love myself, and I'm just going to stay on that journey of transforming into becoming the best person I can absolutely be. And that's what I'm getting for you, Aquarius. And that I'm sure that's a good feeling. Again, thank you so much, Aquarius, for joining me today for your weekly read. This is for my Aquarius' Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Again, we have some planets in retrograde. As I said at the beginning of this reading, we have Venus in retrograde, we have Jupiter in retrograde, we have Saturn in retrograde, but we also have Uranus and Taurus right now. So while there's a lot of movement and thinking and stuff going around, when I say movement, I mean like movement in your mind. You're thinking about a lot of things right now, Aquarius. You are very, very clear on who broke your heart, who literally tried to kill you by sticking those daggers in your heart. And I believe that those were family members that actually did it. And so when you got to a place of loving yourself and being kind and tender with yourself, you started to just rewrite some things that made you feel so much better. You're not even looking back to that. And whereas like with some of the cards I got, I think it was like with two of the signs I got, not going back to an ex because of distractions. And so this is not even about you going back to an ex. I didn't see anything about an ex in your cards for this week, because that's not even a concern for you to even go back to an ex. You had to offload some more hurt in you, and then you realize that hurt came from family members that you really loved and you adored, but as a child, you had no idea that these people were trying to dim your star. You had no idea. But when you got to a point of realizing that these people don't support anything, they have an excuse for every time I'm doing something that matters to me, then that's when you realize I need to cut them off. But it's been a long road for you. And so this journey to healing, self-healing, this journey to your third eye opening, this whole transformation, protecting yourself, creating a safe space for yourself, releasing any addictions from family and wanting their love, has been an amazing journey for you, and that a lot of people were not expecting, but it was necessary for your star to shine bright. And that's what I have for you, Aquarius. Thank you so much for joining. Even if you were a cross watcher today, thank you. Cross watchers are always welcome. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a great day. Bye.